babies.
Yo,
William,
Richard, how are you? Happy Mother's Day.
happy Mother's Day. You motherfucker.
Always.
Literally. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. How about you? How's your day been?
Oh, full of nothing but fun and joy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Full of nothing but fun and joy.
It's the first Mother's Day. It's a big one though.
Yeah. Yeah, but like nowadays when they're pregnant, like they get kind of credit too. So there was last year, so it was a little
Even on Father's Day, the guy doesn't get credit. So
that's true.
we get nothing.
I don't even know when Father's Day is.
June.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Doesn't matter in the absolute least. What do you want? Just to be left alone.
Right. Can I just be left alone? Can I have some peace and fucking quiet?
Here's what I'd like. There's 2 playoff games on tonight. I'd like to watch those by myself in a case of beer.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's it.
Put the baby away. I want to be left alone.
No reservations needed. No money involved. No stress.
None.
Just let me sit down for 4 or 5 hours and watch sports.
Hey, is my camera looking better?
It
It looks black.
does look black. Yeah, and it's been blue on blue, and it looks like something happened.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's just natural.
Half a dozen fuck ups. It says, "Oh, okay, this is what the light's supposed to look like."
Natural progression.
What do you say we talk some hockey while the obvious one is avoiding us for the time being? Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show, Fat Tuesday edition. A look around the NHL as we head into the Stanley Cup Playoffs 2021 edition. Welcome to the show. This is brought to you by, I know you don't have it, Hop Passport. Right there in my face.
Yeah.
Hop Passport. This bad boy, Bill has it finally. This bad boy is $25 to get you half off your first 2 pints at 50 plus breweries in the great Northeast area. This is the New York one. When you go to joinhoppassport.com, get the New York one. If you're in the greater Northeast area, Ray believes that extends all the way to Wisconsin. But he also calls the key the icon menu in here. So he is the obvious one, the bottom of the totem pole of dumb for a reason. But you can get this in your hand. It actually looks like a passport, or you can get it digitally on your phone. Either way, you get 6 pints this summer. You make your money back. And if you go to joinhoppassport.com, you put in SIMPLE, SIMPLE, for the coupon code. You get $5 off. You're making money on a 6-pack of pints. Absolute no-brainer. Bill, I know you'll be at some of these establishments. Maybe you guys will see the Queen there getting his BOGO beers.
Yeah, hell yeah, especially with this warm weather coming. I know it's snowing in Pennsylvania right now, but up here in New England, nice and sunny today. Looking gorgeous. Nice 65-degree day today. Ooh, perfect.
Yeah, it's been kind of shitty down here, but you know what? There's inside establishments. That's what breweries are. So
That's right.
Go check it out. Joinhoppassport.com. I just wanted to run through. We haven't done a lot of NHL talk lately. Obviously, the season ends for the Bruins today.
Yeah.
What did I say? Did I even say
2 games left? There's 2 games left.
It's the 11th right now, as this show is being aired.
Yeah, I think they stopped Thursday because they have Washington and the Islanders in the last 2 games, right?
I thought it was the 11th, but I could have been wrong.
But
either way, this
Monday,
is the
Tuesday,
this is the last week of the season. We haven't touched on the rest of the league too much. So I went digging around and found a couple things and just want to touch on a couple tidbits.
I'm glad the first part of this is in there because this is
the no plan for the playoffs.
That and the Connor.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think the NHL has a plan for the playoffs yet, but I also don't think it matters.
No, it doesn't matter because you got to think you're going to play all the It only matters until the conference finals when one of the Canadian team comes out.
Tuesday the 11th. They could play back-to-back Monday, Tuesday this week.
So they do play. All right, cool.
Yep.
But yeah, it only matters when one of the Canadian teams has to come out come out of Canada. I mean, if you think at that point you're looking at another month and a half, probably. So I mean, you still got time to figure it out. You're still gonna travel like you did in the U.S. They'll probably figure out where you're gonna play. You're gonna station that Canadian team in somewhere in the U.S. and there you go. You're gonna that's how I figure it. They're not gonna do a bubble. They've been traveling all year. There's no sense of doing a bubble. But yeah, you figure it out. You got a month and a half. That's when you really need to worry about it.
Yeah. So they're letting baseball play in Toronto.
No, they're not. They're playing in Buffalo now or something.
Are they still playing in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe I
because they don't want the teams coming up. It's the same thing with the Toronto Raptors were at Tampa Bay or Miami, where the fuck they are right now.
Yeah, but I thought I had heard that they adjusted that. Shows how much attention I'm paying to my loser city, Toronto. Either way,
died.
Yeah, that kind of died.
Yeah, it's died. It's dead.
The teams were good.
I know what happened. We thought we were gonna loser cities. My NBA team's second in the West.
Yeah,
yours went to your NFL team went to the fucking AFC Championship game.
Yeah,
Toronto Raptors. I mean, the Maple Leafs look like one of the best teams in fucking hockey. It's like shit. Yeah, the only one that got screwed was Ray.
Yeah, the Capitals are the only good team there. The Nats blow, the Wizards blow, and the R words are a catastrophe. That is the truest of the loser cities, the Washington football team. But
oh yeah.
Besides the point, yeah, they'll figure it out. It'll be that might be the hubbub, even though you don't get a lot of it in hockey in terms of unfair play for the Canadian team that's going to have to probably, like you said, post up somewhere. It will be. It is a little interesting though, because where are they going to play the home games?
I guess
they'll give them maybe does Seattle have their stadium up and ready to go?
They might. Think about Detroit. They're out, and if it's say Toronto's out of the fucking. They're the team coming out of the North Division. You just hop the what is it, the river? The river, and you're just playing, right there. What's a Little Caesars Arena or some shit? There you go. Figure that out. I mean, you're basically
fans,
the same.
Though. Like if they're gonna let fans in I guess the Red Wings fans will go and just watch hockey, and like Toronto's going to be at a disadvantage, or whoever comes out of the North if that's what they do. I think that's. I
don't know how else you're going to do it. I mean, you just assume that Biden will. The border just opens up and the Canadian government decides, all right, cool, let's just start going. But the way things are going right now in this country, I don't see that happening anytime fucking soon. So
no, and I don't think Canada's looking to do us any favors after the last little hubbub they've had.
Yeah, we don't talk politics. We don't talk
politics, but he didn't make any friends up in the North Country. Speaking of the North Country, yeah, fucking McDavid, 53 games, 100 points. I get that Edmonton's going to the playoffs, but that possibly was the worst division in hockey. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
So maybe I guess you could make the other argument that he was cleaning up points on bad teams, but it's not like it's a fluke. This guy's been the best hockey player since he's been in the league. What is this, his 4th or 5th year?
6, I think.
Is it that long? God, he's wasting.
Yeah, I think it's 5 or 6. He is wasting away. He was a Chiarelli guy early, and then Draisaitl right there. They got a good 1-2 punch. You'd hope. I mean, they're making the playoffs. They ran into Colorado last year. That was that big thing, running into them. Colorado was the Avalanche were a house last year until the conference finals, and they got hurt. But yeah, he's a 9th player in 53 games or less to get 100 points. It is disgusting. I think he's got 40 more points. I think more than anybody else. Or it is disgusting. He is just so fucking good. Like you haven't seen someone put up points like this since Gretzky. I mean, he scores and just the assist totals. It's disgusting. And you're seeing it day in and day out. I mean, I wish you saw more of it. He'd get more recognition if he was in a fucking, huge market. Like if you put him on the Bruins, let's be real. I mean, he would be, he's already a star, but he'd get the more hype down here in the lower.
I begs the question. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of Hockey Night in Canada, but it's their national sport up there. I wonder how much Connor McDavid is even recognized or shined on in Canada, because Edmonton's no Toronto or Quebec or even Vancouver. It's in the middle and fucking literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why that team has kind of always struggled to stay on the map and keep their stars. Obviously, what happened with Gretzky. That was more of an ownership deal, but I don't know the ins and outs of the Oilers ownership, but haven't they gone through some other stuff, like selling off pieces and kind of
Taylor
being
Hall?
cheap?
They dumped Taylor Hall, Shirley, which
or
was
just
mismanaging
right shit.
Yeah.
Just kind of never really being able to push the right buttons up there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think they had 3 out of 4 first round, like number 1 overall picks in a 4-year stretch. To get McDavid, they got Taylor Hall there. There was another guy that flamed out too. Nugent Hopkins, I think, was the other guy up there. And then
isn't that a fucking kicker?
Dude, I don't know. It's something weird like that. Yeah, I don't know. I forget his name, but he went he was like the second round.
I know you're talking about. Hockey names don't work well.
Yeah. But dude, you saw what Chiarelli did with the Bruins in the later years, and that's what you saw, mismanagement. You went outside Milan Lucic for like $7 million a year after he got bounced from LA. That was his boy up there. You saw him. He's already been traded a couple times now. And, he's in Calgary. So you saw the same kind of shit that was running down. They're finally running down the Bruins. Chris Kelly's, all those guys that got big deals. You saw Sweeney finally get out of cap jail, when he kind of took over. But, yeah, that's what happened. Now you're seeing it more in Edmonton. They're trying to get through the pieces. I think Ken Holland's there. He used to he put the fucking Red Wings dynasties together since they're, the 90s. So he's building that team. You're seeing it. They're making the playoffs. They got some good fucking young talent. I mean, they're a good team, but yeah, you would think it would be better if you could fucking prep these guys up more, especially in the States, because everything now down here is Sidney Crosby this, Sidney Crosby that. But you're looking at a vast superior player in my eyes. I don't think Sidney Crosby would ever be as good as Connor McDavid is right now, in his prime. I get it. Him and Gretzky, are the only 2 players ever to average a point per game in the first 16 seasons, which is pretty incredible. But, dude, he is not Connor McDavid. It's incredible how fucking good this guy is.
Yeah, I mean, it's Connor McDavid is Sidney Crosby with speed, strength, and size.
Size, yeah, that's the big thing.
You watch him. What was that? I think it was either from the Olympics or Worlds, where it was just a highlight. It was just they were just showing the ice, which is empty, and it was literally just like a flash. And it was Connor McDavid skating, warm up skating down the ice. He was doing 100 miles an hour on skates down the ice, and that's what he does, and that's what he plays in game. You watch those highlights, and it's just unfucking believable how good he is. It does make you question if he's going to try and make his way out of there, or
he might. I mean, but he signed a big deal. He's the highest paid player in hockey right now too. Dude, good thing Edmonton, man, because Jack Eichel went number 2, and look how he's doing up there in Buffalo. So, I mean, they could be region. At least they love hockey. Buffalo just shits on all their guys.
There's just nothing in Buffalo.
They're just so bad. I give all the due respect to Buffalo Bills fans, but Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ.
They just put way too much energy and effort into lighting shit on fire. And
jumping through tables, ketchup and mustard at each other
in football season. That by the time hockey comes around, and they're just all full and lazy.
Yeah, they're 1 day a week they actually have to exert energy to watch football. God forbid they exert a little bit of energy to watch some hockey a couple times a week.
Yeah, it's not like you're doing what are you doing? There's nothing up there. There's no industry up there.
It's not like you have a basketball team. You don't have a baseball team. You have the Bills and the Sabres. You'd think you'd be more Sabres friendly. No. But you're not.
Fuck Jack Eichel. Your career is ruined. Bye-bye.
Taylor Hall, fuck you too.
I want to stay in the North. I don't know why it's more interesting to me. There's not a lot of storylines elsewhere in terms of the teams for me across the rest of the NHL. Maybe it's because it's that all. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's because it's that all Canada thing that was kind of intriguing. Although we didn't get a lot of that hatred except in the East, except with the Caps pretty much beating the shit out of everybody and hating them. I guess there's a little bit of bad blood with the Canadians. There's a little bit of stir up there, but anyway, the Maple Leafs have been tape to tape the best team up there. They look insane. Austin Matthews leading the league in goals with 40, just got 40 the other night. Probably has more by the time this is released.
Dude, think about this: 40, and you're playing 56-game season. You want to talk about McDavid have 100 points in 53 games? 40 goals in 56 games is fucking insane. Dude,
he was touted to be this guy. I've been a little bit low on Austin Matthews because of what he's done in the playoffs. He's kind of shrunk in a lot of the big games and big playoffs. He's pulled a Pasternak, in my opinion, and you've just kind of been waiting. That question for me still needs to be answered. Obviously, he took another step this year in the regular season. He's got to do in the playoffs, but they look like a powerhouse. I like who is
Mitch
Maroons
Marner.
Up there? Marner.
Mitch Marner. Yep.
Who was the veteran
Tavares.
that they?
So they got Tavares. Mitch
But they made a
Marner's up
trade
there.
mid-season for a big veteran too. Shit.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Did they get Maroon? Is Pat Maroon on that team, or is he still over? Anyway,
I don't remember.
Fucking good, and Matthews looks good.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think on paper they're disgusting. You know, Mitch Marner. I mean, Austin Matthews arrived. He's 23 years old. I know. I was real. I've been high on Matthews for a while. You know, I picked him in our fantasy hockey draft.
$10,000 fantasy hockey draft.
I grabbed him there. I mean, on paper they look real good. You know, Tavares, Mitch Marner, and Austin Matthews could form one pretty nasty line. You know, that's one of the most highest producing lines in hockey right there. I mean, they could roll 2-3 lines pretty deep. Their defense is good, and they finally gained consistent goaltending. And that's what's dogged them for quite a few years. You know, and they're getting out of that Babcock stink. Babcock's supposed to be one of the best coaches in the league, but he couldn't do shit up there in Toronto. So, I mean, this is the year for them. You're going to probably see him get out of the first round. Yeah, that division's pretty weak. But, I mean, this team on paper has probably some of the most talent in all of hockey on paper. So, I mean, they're still young. So we'll see if they can, you know, they haven't played anybody. The Canadians, they're soft. You don't see a lot of physicality up there in Canada and a lot of the Canadian teams, truthfully. So, I mean, yeah, you might get beat up when you come down and have to play the East. You might get beat up even going down in the South, even Tampa Bay and Carolina. Florida's down there too. They can throw some weight around down there. So, I mean, there's some big body teams coming for them. So it's going to be a wake up check, but they're still fucking good.
I mean, that's really been their MO too. I mean, they've been really high on the on their top lines. Like their cap figures on their top lines is just.
They have Joe Thornton up there insanity. Too. Don't forget him with a little bit of.
Joe Thornton was the other. Nick Phalanges, the guy we can't pronounce his name. That's who they picked up
from Columbus, right?
Yeah.
That's another big leadership guy too, because he was captain down there.
And they got Ben Hutton at the deadline too. That was the guy that we had thought the Bruins might want to make a move on. So,
and then leadership. I mean, that team they're there to be. You know, Thornton. He's been around forever. He could be half those kids' dads down there, and then Filipio, whatever his name is, another captain. So I mean, you're adding that, and that's what that you want to talk about Matthews. That's what you saw at Bergeron. You know, you had Mark Recchi there and Martin Lapointe when he was kind of going up, and you saw the leadership stuff. So that's going to make Austin Matthews a better player.
Thornton is such an asshole. I mean, he's one of the biggest losers in sports.
I know. That's why I don't want Toronto to win, because fuck him. I just want him to go down.
That's what we said when he signed there, that he's perfect for the Maple Leafs, because they both just choke and lose their entire careers. That's the Maple Leafs are probably the best losing franchise in sports history in terms of like being good and underachieving and losing
they haven't
too
won
early.
When's they won? Last time they won, 1956.
Well, this was the first time in 21 years they clinched the division. They've won a division. And it's the worst division in hockey. So, I
think Canadians were the best team in hockey the first 10 games in that division. And look where they are. They were, they had to fire Claude Julien just to make the playoffs.
Good move by the Canadiens. Suzuki is the guy up there the speedster up there that's had some really good games. It'll be interesting. I think you're right. I think, whatever team comes out of the North is in for kind of a rude awakening wherever they land, because the big bad boys down here in the US of A are playing a little bit meaner game, I think, although they're
America,
good, man. They're fucking good.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Penguins they clinched the number 1 seed over the weekend. We talked more about this in terms of the Bruins on Monday. Yesterday. We're recording this before we do the Monday show. So the show's called Simple Minds for a reason. It's hard to fucking.
Hey, I'm glad we could fit it in. I know there's some shit going on this morning. I wasn't being a dick.
No, that's compromise. That's called a professional compromise. We never know if the queen is just playing the queen or if there's actual something going on. So we just need to be really, really precise. Do you think the Penguins are the best team in the East?
No, I don't. But Jeff Carter has been a fucking godsend for them. He just had a 4-goal night Friday night, I believe. So I mean, dude, that's a big trade deadline acquisition right there for Pittsburgh. But no, Bruins are. I believe they've had 5 wins against them. I think they're 5-2, 5-3 against Pittsburgh this year. They don't scare me as a number 1 team. I think
kind of always had their number.
Yeah, and I think actually on paper, you're a better team on paper. I mean, you got the two lines. I know Malkin's back, Letang's back out there. They got, I forget what obviously Crosby's there, and they got another guy, G. I think his last name starts with a G. He's got 20 goals this year. I can't pronounce his stupid name, but
Don't worry about it.
They're a good team. And then Jaffrey, Judah, whatever his name is, their goalie's pretty good. I mean, he's looked good in a couple games, but I mean, I like the Bruins. I think the Bruins are the best team right now in the East. I think we can't underestimate how much Taylor Hall has meant to this team. I'll throw out this last Rangers game. I mean, you're 12-3, 12-4 since the deadline right now with Taylor Hall. He's got 6 goals, six assists for 12 points in those games. So I mean, you're seeing you brought him in for this, and this is what you're seeing. You saw Krejci being a fucking, point and a half a game player right now. I mean, I think they're the best team in the East right now is the Bruins.
Gunsel,
yeah, he's got
Jake
over
Gunsel.
Yeah, he's got 22 or 23 goals. He's right up there. So I mean, they got a lethal attack, and especially if Malkin is healthy now.
Yeah,
I mean they're good, but I still give me the Bruins. I trust the Bruins goaltender too. Tuukka Rask has owned the Pittsburgh Penguins in his career too. Going back 2013, he gave up 2 goals in 4 games against that team in the playoffs.
I've been saying this on our headline show that I think the Penguins are the best first-round matchup for the Bruins. The Islanders play a game type of style of play that you really don't want to walk into in the first round. Same with the Capitals.
They're down though. The Islanders are not.
No, I know.
Well.
I think you'll beat them, but I think that look, I think that you can play the Penguins and maybe beat them in 5 and 6 and walk out of there without getting too bruised or too beat up, right? Like you probably play the Islanders and beat them in 5, but you're going to hurt after. And then the Capitals, that's going to be your biggest challenge. And that's a 7 game series. And
looks like Wilson's actually legitimately hurt too.
Yeah, so, fuck that.
So
fuck
I mean now
that.
Well, I think he got hurt. He came back and got hurt in another game.
Good. So. The last one, we'll get into the divisions, and then we'll do some power rankings to close it out and see what we think about going to the playoffs here. But this Central Division, what a fucking snoozer this Central Division is.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to the Lightning? So the Hurricanes clinched #1 seed. Obviously, we know that Kucherov was hurt all season, and they were playing games with the salary cap. He's supposed to be back, and it looks like they're getting Stamkos back. Obviously, talent to talent, roster talent there. Probably the best, if not the best roster in the NHL. But 2 years ago, we saw what that mattered and didn't. Vasilevsky is the best goalie in hockey if he's on. 2 years ago, it didn't matter. And they're in 3rd in their division this year. So, I don't know. I kind of did a little deep dive back into some hockey stuff that I had not watched for a little bit. And you go, what the fuck is going on in the Central? You got the Hurricanes, the Panthers, and the Lightning are in 3rd.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean,
weird division.
Yeah, it is pretty weird, but I think Tampa kind of just put it on cruise control the whole season. They're gearing up for the playoffs. I don't think they really cared what seed they got. They're real fucking good. They won the Stanley Cup last year. Again, they're getting Stamkos and Kucherov back. So I think it was just cruise control. You saw them early in the year. They were leading that division for a little while this year, and you saw how good they could be. And I think they knew it too. And they kind of they battled some injuries. I think they battled a little bit of COVID stuff. And then now they're just trying to get healthy. Carolina, you've seen them in the playoffs last couple of years. Bruins have had their number. And they got some consistent goaltender now. They're not worried about Peter Mazurek and that other fucking corpse they had running up there last year. And I forget his name, but so I mean, you're seeing it. They're a good team. They've
been on the up and up for a few years. I don't think that they have it's clearly the Lightning coming out of that division.
For sure. Yeah. And the Florida Panthers aren't fucking that great either they're just not that good. That's a kind of weak division. I expect Tampa to get out there. I expect Tampa to go back to the finals actually, because they're fucking good.
You might be right about that cruise control, but remind me, did they finish didn't the year that they got bounced in the first round by the Blue Jackets, didn't they get the division real early and then just coast into the playoffs?
No, they went for the record because they tried to tie Detroit's win record or in most points in the season. So they never took their foot off the gas. They expected to go in and cruise through the playoffs too, because they cruised through the regular season. I think the last couple games they started resting a guy here and there, but they weren't taking nights off. They were fucking going for it, because I think they were trying to get 58 wins or something like that, or I forget the number, but they were going for it. So they got it, they tied it, and then they burnt out. And then you saw it the second year, they started real slow. You saw the Bruins win that division. At one point, Tampa was third, and then you saw them get up to that second seed, and you kind of knew. And then they played the Bruins, and you knew the talent difference. So, I mean, they didn't take it as seriously. They know what they're doing. You look at LeBron in some of these years in basketball, he knows what he's fucking doing. Plays the season half-ass, and then when the fucking time comes, it's like they flip a switch, and I expect Tampa to do that this year too.
Yeah, they're scary. They're certainly scary. If you're a Bruins fan, you want to avoid them to whatever conference finals you can get yourself to. Although that's what it's going to work out to, right? You play through the division and then
you'll get one winner.
Winners. Yep. Yeah. Speaking of that, let's work through the division. So we just went over the Central. So as it stands, I mean, the playoffs teams are pretty much set. The Central have the Dallas Stars on the outside looking in, but it's Hurricanes, Panthers, Lightning, Predators, Dallas Stars looking in. Boring. I don't know. Boring. It's the Lightning.
Yep.
We talked about the North. The Winnipeg Jets are currently in third, and the Canadiens, fucking Canucks, have snuck their way back into the playoffs. Do anyone challenge the Maple Leafs? I know we think they're the best, but
the Oilers can, just because their two lines are disgusting. Just don't forget, like, Draisaitl and McDavid play on separate lines.
Yeah.
So I mean, and they're number 1 and number 2 in scoring. So this team, they're good. They can score. They can score on two lines. So I mean, they could challenge them, but I still expect the Maple Leafs to come out of there. I don't think they're both two young teams. So I mean, I don't think the Oilers are there yet. I still expect the Maple Leafs.
If the fucking Maple Leafs lose to the Oilers, with what I get that they're good player, Marner and Austin Matthews are young, but Tavares is not young. Joe Thornton clearly is not young. You've got leadership on that team now. If the Maple Leafs lose, if they don't get out of that, then it's that's why they're on the loser city list.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
That's a fucking what an absolute underachievement.
What do I always say? 100%.
100%. We know the East. I think the obvious one, Homer. I think we both like the Bruins coming out of the East.
I do too. I think, again, we want to avoid the Capitals, so you theoretically can blow these next 2 games to the Bruins and maybe fall back, but and then you just hope the Islanders could take out the Capitals. But if not, I expect to go in there. I think we could beat the Capitals. Brayton Holtby's not there anymore. That was the biggest factor. This team's I expect the refs to start really looking out. You're seeing all the buzz now, especially with Tom Wilson didn't get suspended. You saw the Rangers shit. So I mean, the whistles might be tight in a series like that. Kind of take that chippiness out. You're going to see a little less of it in the playoffs. But yeah, eventually you got to go through them and fuck it, just go. I expect them to be the number 1 team and come out. Your conference finals team, just the addition of Taylor Hall, Lazar, and Mike Riley. You shored up your defense. So I mean, I expect them to come out of the East. And I'm not trying to be a homer, but this team is
they've been with that emergence of the second line and then being able to bump guys down in that third and fourth, dropping DeBrusk on the fourth line, allowing him to
that thord line too.
That's what I mean. Big Dick Nick, Charlie Coyle playing the wing. Corrali coming up and being able to provide something after a full season of doing absolute dog shit. Like that second line has allowed these guys to shake it up down there in the third and fourth.
And you got flexibility.
Get some new production and legs out of these guys,
Yeah, and you got flexibility in your defense too. I mean, your best defensive pair, truthfully, on paper is McAvoy and Grzelcyk, but they really like Grzelcyk and that Brandon Carlo line. That pairing, I should say, I think eventually in the playoffs, especially if you're pressing for goals, you might run into a hot goalie. That's a line you need to make because that'd be a scoring defense. And right now it seems like they have the best chemistry. You have that flexibility with Riley. You have Kevin Miller's there, Lauzon. You still have, Zorbal's probably out. I don't expect him to really play much, but I mean, you got that flexibility now. Your defensive core is healthy. Get your best top 2 defensive lines and figure out that third. And if it's Grzelcyk and McAvoy, you need to do it now.
Yeah, you'd expect. I don't expect a lot of minutes out of that third line from the Bruins. I expect McAvoy to be. You've heard me.
25, 30 minutes.
25, 30 minutes.
He's about
in the playoffs.
He's about 24. He leads the Bruins a nice time. Yeah. He's at a good number, so which is nice. And they've been dialing him back a little bit, especially they crunch. You've seen it with Bergeron too. So 25, 30
They'll
minutes.
Bump him up. They'll bump them up the playoffs, and if Carlo can come back to close to healthy, then they're in good shape. The West is interesting to me, man. The Golden Knights have been obviously a real threat out there. The Avalanche, the Wild. I don't know anything about the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, they came out of nowhere this year. I didn't think they were that good, but the Avalanche, I think they're the best team in the West.
The fourth team there is the Blues, obviously, too. But yeah, I mean, McKinnon has been dealing with those injuries. That's big.
He's missed what? He got hurt in March, so he's been out. He just came back.
I think he's gonna miss. I think I just saw he's missing this game, or he missed last game, or whatever it was, as recorded on Sunday. But
he's coming back. He'll be back for the playoffs.
He'll play. I just don't know how. It'll be interesting to see how much. If he's at 100%, that'll be a big difference maker. But they should win. They're kind of like in the Maple Leafs situation. They're young, really talented. I don't know if you want to call it got snake bitten last year or just got beat, but I thought they were everyone's darling last year.
They were hurt.
And they got knocked out.
They were hurt. So, I mean, the Knights too, Marc-Andre Fleury, you got Robert Lerner there too. You got two of the best goalies, best goalie tandem in the NHL. They're, you've seen the Golden Knights have been a fucking top 2, top 3 team in their division since their inception. They went to the fucking Stanley Cup Finals year 1. So I mean, the Blues, they've taken a step back. They've lost Panarin, they've lost Pietrangelo, the last couple of years. So I mean, you replace him with Torrey Krug. Say what you want. I've always said it on. He's a top 4 defenseman on the Bruins, but any other team, he's a bottom 3 defenseman. I mean, the scoring keeps him top 4. I don't think defensive wise he's that good, but yeah, I expect if the Avalanche are healthy, I expect them to get out of there.
There's going to be some fun series though, man. Like. The Golden Knights were rumored to be trading off pieces for a long time during the season. They never did. So
before the season, they were trying to get under, and
they're right up against the cap. They're trying to get rid of Pacioretty and
Pacioretty because he was rumored.
Max
to the Bruins,
Stone has been trying to. Well, they've been rumored to be dumping that contract for a long time.
Yeah, the owner basically came out and said, "Suck my dick." We traded shit, motherfucker. We ain't trading
shit. They're going for it, so they're fully staffed, man. And they're ready to go. That double goalie thing is great in the regular season. It kind of gets diminished in the postseason. But
you'll see Fleury. You should see Fleury. Both of them are playoff goalie.
Fucking fantastic. If you got an injury, you got a really good backup there. But we'll go into power rankings to end this thing. But I'm just looking at potential matchups here, in the playoffs, second round of the playoffs. Bruins Capitals. Even if the Bruins get sniped, Capitals Penguins, either of those is going to be an awesome series. Knights Avalanche should be an awesome series. If you got Maple Leafs Canadians, as much as we hate both those teams, that's a cool, fun, old Canadian
original six.
Now right now they're matched up to go in the first round, so that would be fun to watch it. But even if you get the Oilers in the second round, watching that young talent go against each other, awesome hockey. Fuck the Central, that's going to be boring. But I think there's a lot of really potential good hockey matchups here coming up.
They were talking
in the second round, which will be really fun.
They were talking like the North Division. They haven't, you come to the East, you haven't seen fucking hate like this. This division fucking hates each other, and it starts with the Capitals. You've seen it. They fought the Rangers, Bruins, Rangers, all this shit. He's fought everybody. No division has seen what
they've been fighting all season. It's been chippy against the Devils. It's been chippy against the Sabres. The Capitals are fighting everybody.
Like Kevin Miller fought night 2 for a questionable hit after night 1. What was it, Woods or whatever?
Yeah. That's absolutely right.
Frederick fought Tom Wilson. I mean,
Penguins are no slouch. You got that slew foot and fuck Crosby over there. He's going to pull some shit. Marchand on our team is going to pull some shit. The East is a nasty. I take it back.
Division. If the team that comes out of the East is winning the Stanley Cup.
Ooh, Tampa's still tough though, man. Tampa is.
I know.
Tampa's tough.
I know.
Toughness only gets you so far. It's not 1970s hockey. It's
you know what though? If you put this Bruins team against Tampa last year, now you're rolling 4 lines. You get a legitimate second unit where
it's competitive. It's a 6-7 game series for sure.
Yeah,
you can go there. You need two. I mean, Halak fucking killed him.
Well, I would even
or Swayman, whatever.
This team, Tuukka, Swayman. I mean, dude, you get in those games, you think one shit bounce. One bad bounce. You saw it, Bruins Canadians 2011, Game 7. Nathan Horton got one fucking bounce, and it was just a fucking lucky puck luck goal, and that's all you need in these games. So it's like you saw it, Bruins at the Stanley Cup. It's fucking
you have to stay competitive, but I think you still need the talent to stay competitive and be there to get that luck. And you're right, this year's Bruins team certainly has that. I think honestly in spades over last year, considering your goalie wasn't there and your second line completely went kaputs, and Pasternak completely went kaputs against that Lightning team. So.
He had a goal yesterday. Their team's looking healthy now.
You fucking pasta. You got
no. But another thing. I'm not apologizing for him, but I'm just saying they're healthy going in, and there's no 3-month layoff now.
Yeah.
You just had a fucking grind in the regular season. Now you're gonna have a grind in the playoffs. This team's ready. You saw them have a lull before the trade deadline, but they fucking got hot at the right time. It doesn't matter what seeding is because this team could be fucking anybody on paper.
All right, then power rank them for me. Give me, I don't know, 5 or wherever you end up landing.
I'll put Maple Leafs 1 because obviously they're the best team in hockey right now. Golden Knights, I want to slide in there 2. I like Bruins at 3. Lightning at 4. Avalanche at 5 going into the playoffs.
I'm pretty close to that. I'm Lightning 1 though.
Okay.
I'm Lightning 1. Knights 2. I like Bruins 3. Maple Leafs 4. Caps 5.
Ooh.
Avalanche after that. Avalanche's got to prove it to me. Caps, Caps have gotten over that hump. You got Ovechkin, one of the best players of all time. You got really solid lines there. The Avalanche are skilled, and same reason Maple Leafs are down on my list for me.
Yeah.
I'm a prove it guy. You got to prove it to me in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd probably have Caps 6, and then the way they've been playing the Hurricanes, you could probably slide them at 7 going in, and then Oilers. Actually, no, I'd probably put the Oilers at 7, Hurricanes at 8, because
I just don't trust any of those teams. Like I'm looking at it, I'm going. I know they lost Pietrangelo, but I like the Blues in a playoff series. They've been there, they get it. They play tough. I know they're not as talented, but
Johnson's been out there. They're another number 1 defense. He's been out, and then Islanders. They're down on my list right now because they've been playing like shit. They've been hurt. They're down there. Canadians, they're probably last.
I think we forgot the Penguins. The Penguins probably need a little more respect.
Yeah, probably. I'd put the Penguins over the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I like
so
that.
They'd probably be.
They're in like the 7th spot. After that, everything
Capitals,
is just
Capitals, Penguins, Oilers, and then somewhere. Yeah. And that seems like a pretty good list. I mean, we have all the same top 5 teams basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think team like the Panthers, the Winnipeg Jets, like guys like this, they're just going to be, fodder.
But the two of us can agree that the last team on this list, number 16, Montreal Canadiens.
Okay, I'm with that. Fuck the Canadiens.
Oh, they're the worst.
Carey Price is still a questionable mark for them. I know that he's not Carey Price of old, but if he comes back and turns into one, pulls off one of those series that he just is unbeatable, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. I don't think they're getting out of the North. I don't think there's any potential of the Bruins seeing them, but
Maple Leafs have been owning the Canadians, but you've seen it before. They made deep playoffs from with Carey Price. He's beat the Bruins. He's owned the Bruins.
Yeah, man. I mean,
he's owned the Bruins early in his career. I mean, he's when he was in his prime. I mean, you see why he's one of the top paid goalies in the league, because in his prime he was a perennial Vezina Trophy candidate every single year. But injury bugs got him. This is what happens. You saw guys.
He's older. He's been in the league for a long time.
I mean, you saw. I'll give you another guy, Ryan Miller. He called it quits this year for Anaheim. Another guy that's been around for a long time. You see it, these guys, you lose it. As much as you say it, you saw guys, Mike Richter, fucking Dominik Hasek, Cujo, all these guys, Eddie, fucking Brindamore. I mean, I can't talk right now.
That's okay.
Martin Brodeur. I mean, these guys kick around, but they're not. They're a shell of themselves.
They're not what they used
good.
to be.
They're good enough to be starting goalies, but they're not these great guys. Even Luongo too.
Why the Bruins need to get out from under Tuukka Rask.
This is it for him, and I think you're seeing it with the play in Swayman. Unless Tuukka wants to come back, you want to bring him back at $3 or $4 million. And Krejci, the guys that are telling him not to bring him back, the way he's been playing in the second line, you bring Hall and him back. I mean, it's
all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers for those boys. All right, this has been the Silver Mind Sports Show, Fat Tuesday edition. What did I say it was? Looking around the NHL going into the playoffs. That's a good title. That really rolls off the tongue.
How about Fat Tuesdays, NHL playoff edition. Boom.
Great.
Done.
Great. May, whatever it is.
11th.
Okay, fine. Bye. See you on Wednesday. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I really thought Ray was going to pop in there at one point.
I thought so too. It really does like roll smooth.
You're able to get valiant points. We've said it before. There's not some idiotic statement that's just thrown in there. Really, he's really self-conscious about not interrupting people, so trying to slip in really fast and say his point before someone interrupts him.
Yeah, right.
Which is not how any of this works. You just kind of interrupt politely with over speaking, and then you do your point, and then let somebody else do the same to you. He doesn't get that yet to get that. So like he'll just interject something. You don't hear what he says. You're like, what the fuck did you just say? And then he repeats it, and it's dumb as shit. And now I've lost my train of thought.
Oh, that happens all the time, especially in like the interviews where I'm like, all right, I'm just going to slip this one in real quick. And he's like, dude, it's not the fucking email. And it just like throws his whole fucking brain off.
Oh, speaking of, look at that.
Here he is. Oh, you got to stop recording, right?
No, we'll see how this works. Hey, Hockey Guy Ray.
Hey, Hockey Guy Ray. Oh, what's up, buddy?
You guys.
Just
you
in
look
time.
Miserable today. You okay?
I'm all right. Well, allergy season, baby. Thank you.
See, this is what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
We can't talk about it anymore.
Great. I have to wait till Tuesday to listen to it.
Yeah, this is the end of the show. You have any hockey thoughts?
Go Bees.
Okay.
Who's going to win the Stanley Cup? Go.
Bruins and your butthole tattoo.
Excellent.